They tell me I'm small, but I've learned small faith moves mountains. This platform might look quiet right now, but purpose doesn't need permission. Sometimes the smallest voices are trusted with the biggest stories. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never ever know what love can do once it's shared. I'm not rich in numbers, not loud on the screen, but every case I cover got weight in between. Faces on flyers, names people forget. I speak them out loud so they're never silenced. Yet I don't chase clout, I chase truth. Every live stream feels like a prayer in the booth. For the mom still waiting, the dad still searching, for the families hurting while the world keeps turning. They say, what can one voice read do? But I've seen hope rise when a community moves. So I show up steady, even when it's heavy, trusting God with the parts I can't carry. Got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never know what love can do once it's shared. Every time I go live, I ask one thing: send prayers up higher than algorithms, because awareness is good, but faith goes further, and prayer reaches places we never could. I don't promise answers, I promise care. A space where compassion still lives right here. Victim-focused, truth-driven, heart-led, always standing in the gap on the hardest days. If you're watching this tide, scared or alone, I hope you feel seen through the screen in your home, because God hears whispers, not just the loud, and He's working right now, even in the crowd. So we pray for the missing. Every single time we pray for the answers in God's perfect time. Small seeds planted, faith multiplied. Miracles don't need a spotlight. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. Still believing God's moving, even today. Small but mighty, called by name. And I trust what He's doing even when I can't see the way. This is Mo and Cole. Say a prayer for the missing. Say a prayer for their families. And before you go, say your prayers. Take your vitamins. And remember, even something small can do really big things.
Hey guys, how are we today? I'm so glad to see all of you. Happy Valentine's Day. Hey Hippie Chick and Van, good to see you guys. And there's Erin and Shay stopped by. I'm so glad to see all you guys. I I'll have to show you guys later that my mama bought me these chocolate roses, and they look like real roses, but they're chocolate. So that's even better than just flowers that will wilt. I'll have to show you guys later. Um, but I hope you guys are all doing okay. This stream today, it means a whole lot to me because Emily is one of the cases that I have. Usually, I don't do follow up live streams or videos because there's always something that I feel like needs our attention and our awareness right away, And I just usually update you guys in the next stream. But with her case, it's just something about her. And I would have never believed that it would be a year and still no answers for her. And there's actually a 200 and I think like $202,000 reward for information, and especially with that. But I made a community post that you guys can find and share there, and it has all our information and all of our photos and things like that, and you can just share the flyers. And Nicole made me a flyer today that I put on my Facebook too, so you guys can share it from Facebook if it's easier that way. And then also, this is a link to her FBI flyer. That should take you there. Oh man, that is awful. I'm sorry, Erin. I know exactly how that feels. Bless your heart. And Van's going through it too. We're a mess, guys. But we'll make it. This past, I think it was Wednesday, it made 23 years since my accident that left me paraplegic. I know most of you guys know, but in case you guys are just stopping by and don't know, I was on my way to work and I hit some black ice and broke my back, and it left me paraplegic. And the first few years, it was sad on that day, because I thought about all I had lost and, things like that, which is normal. But then more recently, I just think about how blessed I am, and it could always be way, way worse. Um, but I do have a little bit of update from last week. Last week, remember that we talked about Hannah and Roberto and how that they had been found deceased, and Hannah was, I think, 32 weeks pregnant when she went missing. And Roberto's half brother and his wife had been arrested for their murders, and they had just been found. Well, since then, I do have to tell you guys about this. 4 other people have been arrested for that. And it's just so hard for me to believe that 4 separate people would take part in something like that, So I'm going to keep up with that. They had a bond hearing Friday, but I didn't get to check up on what that is. But I'm definitely going to keep up with that one too, you guys. Hey, Nicole, how are you? So good to see you. And I did on my Facebook post, I did leave a link to Stolen Spirits to their Facebook page too, but you guys can get to it this way too. They are always doing so much for Native Americans, and that's where you can go to find all the flyers. And she says if there's one that they don't have, or if you see that they need to make an update, if there's a new reward or something like that, she says she doesn't care a bit to do that. And yeah, handy capable. That's exactly what we are, Aaron. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love all you guys too. So much. Hey, Grateful, how are you? Good to see you. So good to see you. Okay, you guys. So I thought that today, and my title, she's more than a headline. I I spoke about that on my community post too. That sometimes I think this is a hobby for some people, true crime, and they think of it all as stories, and you can get kind of desensitized to it. And so I think it's good to. That's what I try to do in each of my lives. That's why I try to tell you the traits that I can find about each of the victims, because they are somebody's sister, somebody's daughter, somebody's niece, sometimes somebody's mother, and so, and also, honoring her today is also trying to bring her justice. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Of course, Nicole, you guys do so much great work. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, let me see here, you guys. My app disappeared, but I'll get us back there. So when she first went missing, she was in let me just start at the beginning and tell you guys what I know about Emily. Let me see here. I have like 6 folders for her or something. I have the most information that I've ever done on any case, I think, for her. Let me see here. Remember we spoke about Besselin the other day? She lived in Washington on a reservation and it only had 5,000 members. Well, Emily, she lived in Arizona and it was a much bigger reservation. It had 17,000 members and a million plus acres. And she was first, let me read this to you guys so we can get the information out about there. So Nicole made this for us, and it says at the end of January, early February 2025, a horrific crime was committed near the San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation in Arizona. Emily Pike was a beautiful 14-year-old Native American girl. She was artistic, funny, and full of life, which was cut far too short. She also loved K-pop and Roblox. She loved butterflies, anything girly. She loved Hello Kitty. She was learning to play the guitar, and she had a cat, and its name was Millie Pike. Not just Millie, but Millie Pike, and I thought that was really cute. And she wanted to go to college to pursue her love of art, and she also wanted to be a veterinarian, and she should have gotten that chance, you guys. She absolutely should have. On January 27th, 2025, Emily was reported missing from her group home in Mesa, Arizona, and last seen near the intersection of Mesa Drive and McKellips Road. And at this intersection, there was a memorial set up for her with oh, you guys, and I also found where Stolen Spirits, they went to the memorial, and I'll show you guys that too in just a second. And just recently, you guys, they had left it up there for almost a year, and just a few weeks ago, the landowner removed it all, and he said he left it in the trash bins there so that people could come by and pick it up if they wanted to. But anyways, they're making 2 new permanent memorials, so that's good. But that just reminded me of that. But on February 14th, 2025, her remains were discovered in trash bags by hikers on a trail near Highway 60, milepost 277, just northeast of Globe and nearly 100 miles from where she was last seen. Her remains were found dismembered, and her arms and hands are still missing. Yep, so trigger warning, but her head and her torso were found in one bag, and these are like large contractor bags, and that detail always hit my brain. Like, I don't know where to buy contractor bags, it seems like that should be a tip too, and her legs were found in another bag, but her arms and her hands are still missing. The FBI is offering a $75,000 reward. San Carlos Apache Tribe, a $75,000 reward. Arizona Department of Public Safety, $25,000 reward. And Silent Witness Crime Stoppers, a $25,000 reward for a total combined reward of $200,000 for verifiable information leading to an arrest of the person or persons responsible for this unthinkable crime. And she's listed the tip numbers there, and they're in my description also, and also in the ticker across the bottom of my screen to you guys. And you guys know that we always pray for these cases, and in this one especially, let's pray for whoever knows something, for them to have the courage to come forward, and whoever did this, for their hearts to become unhardened and for them to come forward too. Those two things have been especially on my mind, and let's pray for those two things too, you guys. Okay, so to before she was at the group home, we have to talk about what led her to being at the group home. And she lived on the reservation. It says she lived in a mobile home and the plumbing was shoddy and they had tarps on the roof and things like that. And she lived with her mama, Stephanie, and she had some substance abuse issues. And she lived with her mama and her grandma and her brother, I know for sure. And she was, from what I know, there she had, unfortunately, trigger warning, but she suffered 2 sexual assaults in early 2023 and in the summer of 2023. Oh, you guys, let me show you this. Remember, I found this. This is her speaking. Hippie Chick says, Mo, I can't believe it's already been almost a year. This case was very important to me because it's so close to where I live. I know, Hippie. I have to show you guys this too. That reminds me, Miss Arnold took this picture for me. She's from that state too, from Arizona too. And they made this tower, they decorated it to as a tribute to her, and they put their handprints on it, in the red paint. And this meant a whole lot to me that she thought to take this picture for me and send it to me. And I wanted to show you guys that. But remember this is her speaking.
To Rhea.
Hi, Rhea. I wanted to say that. Okay.
Say something to Rhea.
Hi, Rhea. I wanted to say that I miss you so much, and I really hope I'll try to see if you can come visit me next time. I'll keep bugging them about it so that you can come see me. And that I love you so much, even though you might say that's gay, but I still love you. Yeah, she always says that whenever I say I love you. She says, ew, gay. She says something like that. But yeah, I love you, and I hope you're doing good. And yeah, just have a good rest of your day. Yeah, I love you, and have a good day.
Yeah, so we have to talk about what brought her here. And it makes me really angry because, okay, in early 2023, I don't know a whole lot about this sexual assault, but I know that neither one of these perpetrators were convicted of what they did to Emily. So the first one happened. No, she didn't tell me, Hippie, but from what I know, I do know this. They had Emily's memorial at San Carlos High School, and they said that this was about a mile from there. So it's about a mile from San Carlos High School, if that helps any. It's on the reservation, I believe. Yep. So, and you guys, her paternal side, her dad, Jensen, let's talk about him. We spoke about her mom. Her dad, Jensen, had been in and out of prison. And at this time, he was in prison for an arson related offense. And her paternal side of the family, you guys, her grandma, Agatha, and her, I believe her name is Agatha, and her uncle, who is Jensen's brother, Allred, and Jensen's sister, Carolyn Pike Bender, they have spoken up so much for her, so much for Emily. And none of them found out about these sexual assaults until they were on the side of the road on milepost 277, where her body was found, and law enforcement was telling her mama about these sexual assaults then. They had thought that she had been sent to the group home because of her mom's addiction issues, but really she was sent there because of this. She was the victim and she was punished for it. So the first one happened in beginning of 2023, and it occurred on the Fort Apache Indian Reservation in the White River area. And you guys, researching Emily's case, the updates, I found that another Indigenous girl, a 16-year-old, was killed back in November, and it was on this White River where we're talking about where Emily's first essay occurred, and she was found murdered 11/3 of 25. And I hadn't even heard about her case at all, and her name is Calicia Cole. And I'm going to definitely look into her case after this, because in one video I saw, it said that Emily and Calistia knew some of the same people. The news anchor was talking about it, and she said, when I was talking to some of the family, it was crazy because some of the people, they knew some of the same people. So I don't know if that's a I don't know if that could help in this investigation at all, but isn't it crazy though? And in Calicia's case, there's only a $5,000 reward. Let me go ahead and show you guys her while I'm thinking about it here. This is her. See, the Bureau of Indian Affairs is seeking information about the death of Calicia Cole, a 16-year-old member of the White Mountain Apache tribe found deceased in White River, Arizona on November 3rd, 2025. And I also found in her case that the family was told that a minor had been arrested and charged in her case. But then the BIA came back and said, no, that's not true. So I don't know how that got mixed up or whatever, but that's a mess too. And so we definitely need to bring awareness for her too. But that reminded me because of where, sure, Ann, no problem. So that reminded me when they said that, that her first essay occurred, it was in the same area where Callistia was found. So, but so for that first essay, it says FBI investigates essay of children 12 and under. So she was 13 at this time, I believe. And it says the BIA investigates essay involving older children. An FBI spokesman told ABC 15 that the suspect was not prosecuted in Emily's case, but he had been indicted on other federal charges. Federal court records show the man was indicted in 2024 on counts of aggravated essay, abusive sexual contact, and essay of a minor. One of the victims listed in the indictment was between 12 and 16 years old when the crime occurred. Federal court records show the man was ordered to be detained in federal custody pending trial slated for July. So for some reason, he wasn't charged in Emily's case, but he was charged in other cases. So that's about all I know about the first one. Oh, yes, Hippie, that would be great. You definitely should. I will ask her after this to see exactly where it was so I can tell you. Yeah. But the second one was in July of 2023. And the 911 call came in, and they believe that Emily made the call herself. And for some reason, the Fish and Game came out instead of the San Carlos Apache law enforcement. And there was a committee oversight meeting, and the chief said that they only had 22 officers at the time. And so that might have been why Fish and Game was sent out, but also because they're used to finding people. So I don't know what that means. But anyways, and you guys, when the Fish and Game showed up, she was behind her trailer in the woods, and she didn't have any clothes on. And that's what makes it even worse, you guys. She was a victim, and she was sent away. There's only on the reservation, there is only a group home, and it only holds about 12. And so they didn't have room for her there. So she was sent to Mesa, and away from her culture into a huge city for her. And I just can't imagine all that this child was going through, after what happened to her. They said that the kids are sent away, because a lot of times the perpetrator keeps coming to the home, and for their safety, they're the ones that are sent away. Hey, Carl, good to see you. Good to see you. And Choo Choo, how are you? Good to see you too. Good to see both of you guys. So, and there's also a discrepancy. I'll show you guys a video about that. It says the tribal law enforcement referred the case to the BIA, and it says BIA agents conducted a full investigation, including arranging a specialized child forensic interview at a child advocacy center and coordinating with other agencies, including federal and tribal prosecutors and tribal social services. A spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney's Office in Phoenix said the July 2023 case was never submitted to our office for review. No criminal charges were ever filed. So they're trying to blame each other. We know how that goes. This ain't our first rodeo. We know about that. So they're trying to blame it on each other. So Emily was sent to Sacred Journey, and there were 80 calls for service in 3 years there, I think, and there were 30 missing reports. And some of those were repeated for the same child. And Emily ran away 4 times altogether, I think. And the first time, so she went to the group home in August of 2023. And yep, she ran away 4 times between September and November 2023. And the second time that she ran away, it was September 20th of 2023, and I do have the body cam for that. And it's upsetting, you guys, because you can tell that she's really, really upset. But I think it's still important to show that we can see what this young lady was going through, you know. Let me get it right here. We might have to watch might have to watch a commercial first. No. I think that the audio kicks in just a second. Yep, 9/20/23.
Emily, Emily, can you please stop for me so I can talk to you? Well, I don't know that, but you match the description of someone I'm looking for, okay? Well, I need to identify you correctly, okay? You need to tell me where you're coming from. Can you stop, please? Emily, I need you to stop, okay? Just stop, young lady, okay? I know you're coming from West Ivy, okay?
I'm not.
So I need you to stop, okay? Hey, it's okay, you're not in trouble. Hey, listen. I need to know where you're coming from, okay? Hey,
What?
relax, take a seat, okay?
No.
Yes, ma'am. I know your name's Emily, okay?
My name's not Emily.
Where are your parents at?
They're home.
Where?
And Mason.
Emily,
No.
Emily, relax, okay? I need to get you back where you need to go, okay? Hey, Emily,
Stop.
I know you're coming from West Ivy, okay?
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Okay?
Stop.
Where are you coming from? Emily,
Why?
because someone just called, said you're missing, okay?
No, I'm not.
And I really don't want to put you in handcuffs, okay?
Stop.
So where are you really coming from? Emily,
Stop.
come with me, okay?
No, I don't want to go back.
I know. Let's talk, okay?
No.
It's okay. Hey.
My mom.
Hey, it's okay. You're not in trouble, okay? Hey, hey, hey. I can't let you go, okay?
Get off. I just want to see my mom.
All right, come here. We'll call your mom, okay?
No.
It's okay.
No,
Come on.
they won't let me talk.
It's okay. Come on. I will call your mom for you, okay?
No.
It's okay.
I don't want to go back to that shit, please.
Hey,
Please.
hey,
No.
Emily, I need you to come with me, okay? Hey,
No, I'm
hey,
not
hey, hey,
coming
hey.
with you.
Hey, hey.
I'm not.
Listen, okay? I know you're missing,
No,
okay?
I
Come on, dear.
cannot.
Come on.
Let me go.
It's okay. Come on. Let's go.
No.
I have to get you home, okay?
That ain't my fucking home.
I know it's not, okay? But that's where you
just
stay
leave me
now,
alone.
okay? It's
I don't want
okay.
to go back.
I know, but that's where you live right now,
I
okay?
don't live there.
Hey.
Can you stop?
You're coming with me, okay?
I'm not.
Hey, it's okay.
Let go.
It's okay. Hey,
No.
relax, okay?
Let go.
I can't, all right? You're reported missing, okay? You have to come with me, okay?
Stop. I don't want to go.
I know you don't, but you have to, okay?
Stop it.
It's okay. You gotta come with me, okay?
Stop.
Hey, relax. Relax. It's okay.
No, it's not.
It is.
Can you stop?
No, I have to get you home, okay?
No.
Hey. It's okay.
Get
It's
off
okay.
of me.
It's okay.
Get off.
Relax, okay?
I'm not going back there.
It's okay.
Let go of me.
It's okay, okay?
Let go.
This is her. Okay.
Get
relax.
off me.
Hey.
I
Relax.
just wanna
Relax.
go
It's
home.
okay. Hey,
Stop.
her name's Emily.
Emily,
No, get off
Emily,
me.
hey, Emily, stop. We're not here to
Relax,
hurt you.
okay? We're not here to hurt
Get
you, dear.
off of
We
me.
can't. Okay, I need you to just
No,
relax.
I'm not gonna fucking relax.
Okay,
It's
then you're not
okay.
gonna relax. You're gonna
Let
put
me
it
You
in.
get put
go.
handcuffs in.
You want to be put in handcuffs?
Just let me
We
go.
can't do that.
We can't,
Hey,
dear.
no one's trying to hurt you. Okay?
Yes, they
Talk to
are.
us. Well, tell us
Just
what's
let
going.
me go.
Tell us what's going on.
I want
Good
to
job,
stay
Pike.
with my
This is
grandma instead. I don't
Okay,
want
well,
to stay there.
fighting us isn't gonna help that.
You guys aren't even gonna help
How do you
anyone.
This is
know?
gonna be the
Guys,
Have you ever met
one-on-one
me
Julie we're
before?
looking for.
no, let me go.
We can't. I'm sorry. Okay?
No.
Hey. Listen,
Just
I'm
let
here to
me
help you,
go.
okay?
No
I
one's
can't.
helping me.
Well,
Stay
you
the
gotta.
fuck away from
Well,
me.
that's not gonna help things
No
either.
one's gonna fucking help me. Stop.
Good boy, yourself too. Listen, Emily, if you keep fighting me, I'm gonna put you in handcuffs, okay?
Stop it.
And I really don't want to do that because you don't deserve to be in handcuffs, okay?
I'm gonna walk her that way.
Stop.
Come on, dear.
You come with
No,
us.
I don't
Come on.
want to go.
Hey, well, you have to, okay? And we don't want. If you're gonna act like a child, we're gonna put you in handcuffs.
Stop it.
I really don't want to put you in
go.
handcuffs, young lady, okay?
I just want to go home.
I know.
Stop.
Relax.
It's
I
okay.
don't want to. Just let go of me.
Hey,
Let go.
Emily, what did I say? If you're cool with us, we'll be cool with you, okay? But we have to get you where you belong, okay? I have no choice.
Get off.
I know it may not be your home, but it's your
Go.
home now, okay?
It's not my fucking home. Let go of me.
That's where you stay now?
No, I don't. I don't want to go back.
I know.
Yeah, no, you don't. No one understands me.
Well, you gotta talk to us instead of fighting with us.
Let go.
I'm trying to understand you, okay? You don't have anything that's going to harm me or harm yourself, do
No, nothing.
you? Nothing?
Stop.
I got it.
There's nothing.
Okay, dear.
No, I don't want to go back there.
Well, you don't have a choice.
Emily, I don't want to put you in handcuffs, okay? So get in there, all right?
I just want to
Let go of
talk
this.
to my mom.
Where's your mom?
Let go.
You're gonna go in there one way or
I'm
the
not
other,
gonna
okay?
go
I
to
don't
that
want to hurt
fucking
you.
group home. I hate it there.
I know, dear.
No. Get off of me.
Here, come on,
In
dear.
the car, come on.
Get in. Go on.
Guys, she wasn't sit there because she was doing bad things and out on the streets and going to juvie and stuff like that. She was sent there because she was sexually assaulted. It's awful. It's so bad, you guys. Um, I'm sorry. Yes, you guys, absolutely. Remember yourselves. Remember yourselves. Absolutely. We will see you next time. Absolutely. Um, so that was in September 20th of 2023, and she was telling them that she left that time because it made her uncomfortable when staff argued with other residents. And then the next month, they called and reported her missing, saying that she left on foot. And around 9:15 p.m., they called law enforcement back to say that she had returned. So, I found some more videos about her essay, how they're saying that the attorney's office is, they're trying to blame it on each other, so I wanted to show you guys that too. Yeah, this one is really, really tough, you guys. Self-care is the most important care, absolutely.
That's for sure. The ABC 15 investigators with new details today about the outcome of a sex crime case involving Emily Pike. The 14-year-old reported she'd been victimized in 2023, a year and a half before she ran away from a foster care home and was then murdered. ABC 15 senior investigator Melissa Blasey is working daily to uncover new information about this girl's life and her tragic death.
Justice has been elusive for the family of Emily Pike. It's been more than 3 months since the San Carlos Apache teen ran away from a group home in Mesa where she was staying and was later found murdered. Police have released very few details in that investigation. But we finally have some confirmation about a situation from 2023. Emily Pike was 13 when she reported she was sexually assaulted on the San Carlos Apache Reservation. The first responding officers were from the Tribal Game and Fish Department. But we learned today from the Bureau of Indian Affairs that their federal agents took over and did what they describe as a full investigation, including a
So it says a forensic interview at a child advocacy center. So it wasn't, you guys know, in some cases that can't be prosecuted because the victim won't testify or share what they went through. It sounds like she did. So she went through all of that, and they still couldn't prosecute the perpetrator.
forensic interview of Emily at a child advocacy center. The BIA says it coordinated with both tribal and federal prosecutors, but the U.S. Attorney's Office says the case was never formally submitted for review and no charges were filed. We started asking questions after hearing concerns from Emily's family, and we're still trying to figure out if that 2023 case is still open. We're committed to continuing our reporting on Emily Pike, first as investigators continue to ask for the public's tips to help solve her murder, and also to bring attention to the high rates of violent crimes against Native American people and the need for thorough investigation, accountability, and justice. I'm senior investigator.
So that is the things that brought her to the group home. And you guys, it wasn't that she was victimized until death. She was also victimized after her death, in my opinion. So she ran away for the last time on January 27th of last year. And nobody knew that a body had been found until the Gila County Sheriff's Office. A leak. There was a leak there. Photos were released of the contractor bags that she was found in. I haven't seen the leaked post for myself, but from what I can gather. And so on February 26, 2025, the Gila County Sheriff's Office posted this. It says, Sheriff J. Adam Shepard would like to release the following information regarding the Facebook post that has been in circulation about the remains located off Highway 60 North Milepost 277 on Forest Service Road 355 on February 14th, 2025. So this was 12 days later. The remains of an unidentified female were found. The Gila County Sheriff's Office, in conjunction with the San Carlos Apache Tribal Police, began an investigation. Due to the circumstances, it was decided that further information needed to be investigated before any public notification. There was no indication that there was an active threat to the community. Well, if somebody is killing little girls and disposing of them this way, and they don't have somebody behind bars, there's absolutely a threat to the community, in my opinion. Unfortunately, the information on Facebook was intended for only law enforcement agencies and was leaked. GCSO detectives are currently working long hours to make a positive identification and find any information and evidence, and then they leave their numbers down here. It reminds me of Maddie. Remember, her photos were also released. I don't see how you can accidentally release something like that. She absolutely needs justice, Coffee. Absolutely. And it's been 365 days too long without her having justice. So that was on the 26th. And on the 27th, the next day, they released this. And also, you guys, her mama wasn't notified that she was even missing until a week after. She could have very well have been at her mama's house, so why didn't they check there? If they weren't going to notify her, they could at least check there to see if that's where she went, you know? So this is the next day. Sheriff J. Adam Shepard would like to release the following information regarding the Facebook post that has been in circulation about the remains located off Highway 60 Milepost 277. On February 14th, the remains of an unidentified female were found. The Gila County Sheriff's Office, in conjunction with the San Carlos Apache Tribal Police, began an investigation. On February 27th, 2025, the unidentified female has been identified as a juvenile from the San Carlos Apache tribe who was reported as a missing/runaway juvenile out of the Mesa Police Department. Next of kin has been notified. And you guys, her mama didn't even know that she had been found until she saw the leaked Facebook post and called in for herself and said, hey, this might be my daughter. Working with several law enforcement agencies to investigate all information and evidence. This is an active homicide investigation, and then they leave the numbers. And so let me see here. So this was right after she was found.
Who killed Emily Pike? As the calls for justice grow, we're seeing new efforts from Emily's tribal community to find closure. The 14-year-old was found murdered in February near Globe after running away from her Mesa group home.
New tonight, ABC 15 investigator Nicole Grigg introducing us to one woman who's trying to help her community find some relief.
Tonight, there is little information about the murder of Emily Pike and the additional remains that are still missing. Sadly, there are certain parts of her body that have not been recovered, and there are questions.
Yeah, how awful is that to you guys? I'm sorry that I don't know, that I'm ignorant about this, but they're going to say it here too, that in their culture that it's awful, she needs to be all together. And that's heartbreaking too. And I'm sorry, you guys, this whole stream is really, really heartbreaking. But I think that it's important that we tell exactly what we know, and she went through it. And so it's really, really hard for me to even speak about, but I think it's really important.
questions on if and what is being done to find them.
I've gone to the location twice.
Twyla Casador has been searching.
A part of her is out there wanting to come home, and a part of her is wanting us to come and find her.
Twyla, who knows the area well, has led small volunteer-based searches for Emily Pike's remains.
For myself as a parent, knowing that we did put in that full effort, and whether her remains be found or not, it brings you a bit of closure.
But she's raising questions on what efforts are being taken by local and
while this volunteer group were out there searching for her, the sheriff comes. And I'll show you guys what he said after this. So was he just, maybe I'm just got a bad taste in my mouth from sheriffs because of what's going on in the Nancy Guthrie case. But, or did he just come out there just to give the illusion that they were looking still? You know, who knows? But I'll show you guys that after this.
federal law enforcement.
We need a crew out there. We need people out there. We need drones out there.
The Gila County Sheriff's Office tells the ABC 15 investigators that they've conducted additional searches in the area with multiple agencies and cadaver dogs. They say that they'll do more searches if there's new information or evidence that would lead them to specific areas.
God has given another beautiful angel.
Hundreds coming out to honor Emily both Friday and Saturday. Services were held to remember the teen.
As a Native American person, as an Apache person, no. She's still out there. We have to go look for her.
Twyla says no one should stop searching. As part of the San Carlos Apache culture, it's important to not stop.
You wouldn't want your child partially there. You don't want anything like this for anybody. And for us as Native Americans, we have a belief system where having all of her there, regardless what the condition is completing her journey.
Twyla plans to continue searches, hoping there will soon be a larger focus and more direction to bring Emily home.
Let's find her. Let's bring her home. Let's bring peace and closure for the family, for the community.
I'm investigator Nicole Grigg, ABC 15.
So this is when the sheriff came out there, when the volunteers were out there, and this is what he had to say.
Any suspects or persons of interest, we're hoping with some of the other data that we're being able to collect from some of the tips that are coming in, and people that are providing information to us, that we can possibly close in on a person of interest. Yes. Detectives wanted to go out and just kind of take a look at that area where her residence had been. She'd not been there for quite some time, and but they spoke with the family, and the family consented to let them go ahead and take a look at the area where she had lived before she went to the home in Mesa. We don't believe there are at this point, given the exhaustive search that we have done using cadaver dogs, as well as the searchers that I'd mentioned, but that's not to say that something can't be found.
Yeah. Has Emily been spotted on any video in or around the Mesa or Globe area?
Not that I'm aware of. Okay. They had some, I was told initially at the beginning of the investigation that they had some surveillance videos that they were looking at, but my understanding is that was from Mesa around the time she had disappeared, and I don't know anything more about the video than that. No, okay. That is why the Gila County Sheriff's Office right now is taking lead on it, because she was found here in Gila County. At this point in time, we don't know where this occurred. So we do have the crime of the concealing of a body here in the county, and so that's our that's what's got us in the lead on it right now. If we determine, where she was killed, then of course that jurisdiction's going to have a bigger role in the investigation.
I'm Sheriff Mark Moon from the Blount County Sheriff's Office.
Hey guys, was it Gila County that was over Travis Sticker over his case too? It's sounding familiar to me. I can't remember. Um, Now I have the roommate, you guys, who was she spent some time with Emily at the group home, and I think it's important to see a little bit more what she has to say. She thinks that Emily had been taking these guitar lessons and that she was leaving that night. There was a church there the night that she went missing, and all the kids were involved in that, and they think that she possibly used that time to go out the window, and the alarms had been disabled on the window, and her uncle is really upset about that. And he said that the problem here, you guys, is when the Native American children, when they're sent to DCS, they're not actually in DCS custody. They're still tribal services. And so the communication there is a big problem. And they had a committee oversight meeting and they tried to deal with that. It was back in May, but I'm not sure what all has came from that. And so I want to show you guys that now. Her roommate.
True Crime Arizona exclusive. We have new insight tonight on what happened inside a group home in Mesa where a 14-year-old girl went missing at the end of January.
Her dismembered remains discovered on a rural forest road 100 miles away. Her former roommate now sharing what happened before her disappearance and why she may have left in the first place. True Crime correspondent.
And after this, you guys, I have a short interview of the, I think it's the owner of the group homes. And you guys, there was an investigation into this group home, and it's like a 7-page. I do have that, but basically they said that they didn't call the DCS hotline and report her missing like they were supposed to, and basically that's the only thing that they did wrong.
Brianna Whitney's been on the case from the start. What did you find out?
We learned a lot more about what was kind of going through Emily's head before she left that night, but this is just a horrific case to keep reporting on. Important details, though, nonetheless. This really fills in several missing pieces about what 14-year-old Emily Pike's life was like in the group home and why she ran away in late January. We have learned Emily is not the first or only teen to have run away from that group home.
The tragic story of Emily Pike, seen by millions.
I wanted to say that I miss you so much.
After the 14-year-old's dismembered body was found in eastern Arizona on Valentine's Day, her remains stuffed into trash bags. But the story hits hardest for those who lived with Emily in the Mesa group home, like her roommate, who we're calling Chelsea to protect her identity.
My relationship with Emily was just like trying to steer her in the right direction because it's hard being in the group home.
Chelsea says she lived at the group home near Mesa Drive in McKellips for 4 years and that Emily lived there 2 different times. Emily was from the San Carlos Apache Reservation, and Chelsea says she struggled with mental health and there were better resources in the valley. While Chelsea recently moved out, she's in contact with many of the girls still living there. She says Emily left the home in late January because she wanted to visit a boy she met while taking guitar lessons. Chelsea says at the time Emily left, a church group was conducting activities at the group home.
What it looked like was that the church was there and that service.
And they didn't have their own phones there, you guys. One of the times that Emily ran away with another child, they did see that they had a telephone with them that nobody knew about. So when I've been looking into her case, you guys, for the updates, I learned that DCS, that 66% of trafficking victims were in DCS or are in DCS. And I can't remember if that was just for Arizona or total, but that's a huge problem. And they said that an advocate in one video I watched, she said that the traffickers, that they give these children phones and things like that. And so I hope that that wasn't the case I don't know, you guys. I don't know. And but what I was thinking was that she had to contact the guy who gave guitar lessons somehow. So if she didn't have one of these phones, how did she do it? I don't think that she would just leave without contacting him somehow. I just don't understand how. Oh, and her mama Stephanie, in one interview, she said that they had 3 suspects at the very beginning, but law enforcement never came forward and said that. And I haven't heard anything else about suspects or persons of interest or anything this whole year. And so, I don't know. It's just really upsetting, guys.
As a distraction of when Emily left. She left because she wanted to go out and see the boy that she liked, and she wanted to talk to him. She either used the back door or she used the window, and she left as everyone was distracted.
Chelsea says Emily had run away before. Police tell us the group home manager reported Emily missing.
My time being there, I've seen many kids run away from this group home.
According to Mesa Police, this group home alone reported 30 children as missing over the past 3 years. Retired Phoenix Police Missing Persons Detective Stuart Summershoe says this is common, but these cases quickly become high risk.
A lot of our human trafficking and sex trafficking originate from group home kids because
Yeah, they might leave on their own because they want to, but who says that they don't run into foul play 5 minutes down the street, And I forget which case it was that we were speaking about, and it was one of the law enforcement agencies. They had changed, and so they never said runaway anymore. They didn't put that out there in the universe. When it was a missing kid, they said it was a missing child, not ran away, because sometimes people don't. It changes the perception, and for people looking for them,
they're the most vulnerable victims out there.
Based on where Emily's remains were found off Highway 60 heading northeast, Chelsea believes she was just trying to go home.
I feel like she just ran away, and she was trying to hitchhike back to her reservation to see her parents, and she just got picked up by the wrong person.
Now, the Gila County Sheriff's Office is the lead on this investigation. I asked them for an update today on the case. They did not respond.
So now I'll show you guys what the group home is saying.
True Crime Arizona exclusive. We have some new information and insight into the hunt for a child killer. A 14-year-old girl's body was found off the U.S. 16-year globe back on Valentine's Day. The murder remains unsolved.
14-year-old Emily Pike was last seen alive at a group home in Mesa. Tonight, the manager of that home is answering our questions. True Crime correspondent Brianna Whitney live with us here with the details that you only see on Arizona's Family. Interesting that they are talking about this.
I mean, there have been so many questions from the public, the community on social media, and they know people want answers. Last week, we learned that 30 kids had gone missing from this group home in the past 3 years. That number was alarming to a lot of our viewers, and that is just one of the questions I had for the group home's manager.
Say her name, Emily!
If we don't get no justice!
The calls for justice have only grown louder for 14-year-old Emily Pike.
I wanted to say that I miss you so much.
The Native American teen found dismembered off the US 60 in eastern Arizona on Valentine's Day. Mesa police confirmed she ran away from a group home on January 27th. We learned more than 24 kids had gone missing from that home, and Emily had run away before as well. The group home manager now answering our questions for the first time. I asked, is it mandatory to report the kids missing when they leave? The manager's response, yes, the group home must report all children as missing even if they leave to go to the store without permission. Majority of our reports are regarding the same child leaving without permission. When a kid runs away, why doesn't staff go search for them? The manager responded, we have been known to call Mesa police and stay on the phone and follow our children until police assist us, which is always immediately when our children are a danger to themselves or others. This is one we've heard from viewers. Are there 30 kids missing? How many of those are accounted for now or came back? The group home manager said, no, there are not 30 missing children from our home. all of our children who have been reported missing have been accounted for.
At this time, when she said this was not true. There was I can't remember her name, but there was one child missing from this home still. And I think that it was brought to their attention, and they said that people knew where she was, but she was just laying low until she turned 18. And Nicole, I'm not for sure if you're still here or if you remember her name. I think it started with a Y. And so I thought this was not 100% truthful when she said this. I guess she thinks accounted for is that they know where they are. But how do you, before Emily was found deceased, someone actually called the group home and said they knew where she was too. They said she was on the reservation with her mom. And come to find out that was an old Facebook post. So do they really know? You know?
Those children who did not return to the home were placed in other facilities. The manager went on to say the kids run away for many different reasons. Sometimes they miss their family and friends, sometimes they aren't used to rules and structure, or have mental health conditions. The manager said their staff and the children in the group home have been interviewed by authorities in Emily's murder investigation, and they are actively working with investigators. Because of public backlash against them, the group home manager says they are worried for the kids' safety. The group home manager said, "This is traumatic for all of us. Our lives have been changed forever. We are hurting. People on the internet have been horrible. They have somehow forgotten that there is a killer out there."
The Department of Child Services confirmed today.
No, I will tell you, ain't none of us forgotten that there's a killer out there. Ain't not one of us. Not a single one of us have forgotten that.
They have opened a licensing inquiry into the group home to determine whether they took the appropriate steps during this incident. But a DCS official said they do not believe anything the group home did caused the terrible outcome in this case. We have the full Q&A with the group home manager on azfamily.com, and we'll bring you more of it on the news at 6.
Can you explain a little bit more about how this works? It's for children, but it's not a jail. They can't just keep them locked inside, correct?
Right. It's not a situation like that. So if a kid decides to run away on their own, they have to initiate the report, and the group home manager was saying they would be on the phone with Mesa Police until police take over that investigation, but ultimately the police do. This isn't a jail. They can't keep them inside, and these kids unfortunately do AWOL quite often. This is a common issue for the group homes, and so they're trying their best to make sure that these kids are safe. A lot of them coming from our reservations here in Arizona. This specific group home tends to a lot of our Native American kids, and a lot of times it's for better resources to be here in the Valley, mental health resources, schooling, things like that. But right, they can't physically keep them there. And the manager said, and this is in our Q&A online, they also are a hands-off facility. They can't touch the children either and barricade them or anything like that. And so it's a tough position when you have some of these teens that may feel like they don't want to follow structured rules, or they miss their family, or they miss their friends. But it's put this group home in a pretty tough position.
So now I have this one. I can't remember exactly what this one was about, but I have it marked. Let's see.
Thanks for staying with us here at 5:30. We're talking about group homes this evening. They are under increased scrutiny in Arizona, with several high-profile cases of children in the system running away, going missing, even winding up dead.
Well, the state is supposed to be cutting the number of kids, at-risk kids placed in those group homes. Arizona's Family Investigates found about 1,400 are still in them. Amy Cutler shows us how too many kids have fallen through the cracks and the new efforts to keep kids safe.
Everybody feels her pain of what happened to her.
Emily Pike called the San Carlos Apache Reservation in southeastern Arizona home for most of her young life.
We just don't want her to be another statistic.
Now, all her family has left is this memorial off the main road. It's been 9 months since the 14-year-old was murdered.
I cry myself to sleep sometimes.
Carolyn Bender, Emily's aunt, is haunted by the fact that...
Let me tell you guys about Aunt Carolyn. She is a wonderful, wonderful lady. Her and so it was after one of the times that Emily ran away, and in November 8th of 2023, trigger warning, Emily tried to hurt herself, and she went to the hospital. And after she got out of the hospital, it was around Thanksgiving, and her Aunt Carolyn here and her husband and her mama, they took her to Colorado for, a nice trip. And her Aunt Carolyn's husband is a police officer. And so they were going to the movies to watch, I think it was when Taylor Swift had that movie that all the youngins was watching. Yeah, they absolutely do. You guys are so right. And it was, they were going to go watch that Taylor Swift movie, and Emily was wanting to buy some makeup, and she got upset because they told her that she'd have to wait, and so she walked away, and all of them looked for her for about 2 hours, and they ended up having to call the police, and they found her at an indoor trampoline park. And bless her, you guys, she had been going through so much. She was victimized and then sent away from her home, and who knows if she was getting the mental health help that she needed. We saw from that awful body camera that I don't think she was. And so she was going through so much. And on this trip, when the police found her, she wouldn't leave when they asked. And the police, her Aunt Carolyn here tried to physically make her move, and she wouldn't. So the cops, they were going to handcuff her, and she tried to reach for one of their weapons, and she said that she would see her family in hell. And so Aunt Carolyn tried to help. Maybe they weren't equipped at that time to help her the way that she needed, But so the group home manager that we just heard in that interview, she flew back to Colorado and to get Emily, and they put her in the hospital for about a whole year. And she had just came back to the group home about a month before she ran away for the last time on that January 27th. And they said that she was getting her smile back and everything, and so she was doing really well. And Aunt Carolyn, she said that when Morales came back and got Emily, that they wouldn't tell her anything else about where Emily was or anything like that. And so it hurts their feelings when people say, well, where was the family at? They didn't even know Emily was sent to the group home the first time until Aunt Carolyn here started looking for her and found her herself. And so they did try, you guys. So I just wanted to mention that.
Her killer is still out there.
What happened to her is just not right. It really isn't. It really isn't. And we have to live with it.
First up at 5. The girl's family tells us she went missing from a group home in Mesa at the end of January.
2.5 weeks after Emily went missing, her remains were found right here off Highway 60, about 30 minutes north of Globe. Authorities say her remains had been dismembered, put into 2 contractor bags, and dumped on the side of a trail. Do you think she should have been in that group home in Mesa?
That picture of those trash bags that we just saw, that's what was leaked. That's what the Gila County Sheriff's Office, I believe, leaked on Facebook, you guys. That was supposed to be an inside memo or something like that. So that's what her mama, Steph, saw on Facebook, and that's why she called and said, hey, this could be my daughter.
Begin with?
I do not. I really do not.
I have the whole interview. This is Uncle Allred here, and he has done so much for Emily too. And I have his whole interview we can watch after this too.
Take a teenager, 11-year-old from a family-oriented community. You take her 70, 90 miles away, the area she's unfamiliar with.
Arizona's Family Investigates discovered Emily ran away from that group home 4 times between September and November of 2023.
Emily.
It wasn't until police body camera video was released that we learned the depth of Emily's struggles.
No, I don't want to go back.
Court documents showed Tribal Social Services took custody of her after a relative sexually assaulted her. After trying to take her own life, she was placed in that group home.
I just want to see my mom. I don't want to go back.
I know.
No, you don't. No one understands me.
But going home wasn't an option for Emily. Family members say her mother was addicted to drugs, her father in prison. Meanwhile, she continued harming herself.
It's sad. It's really sad. And
David Lujan is a former director of the Department of Child Safety, or DCS, the state agency tasked with protecting kids. They oversee group homes. 5 years ago, to settle a class action lawsuit, DCS agreed to stop relying on group homes. Lujan admits they've missed the mark.
The number of children in group homes is not reduced like it should. And the reason is the children that remain in group homes tend to be older, tend to be teenagers, tend to have really complex needs.
In response to our questions, DCS says they're trying to recruit more foster families, and they acknowledge the importance. Data shows those in group homes are more likely to run away and go missing. According to the latest report from the state agency, 97 teens did just that in September alone.
Law enforcement, I think, often gets frustrated because they don't know of whether these youth are in danger.
97 in 1 month alone. Let me see here. I think that I read up here that 7,000 are in DCS custody. So I don't know if that's just from the San Carlos tribe. There's 22 tribes in Arizona, I believe, so I'm not sure where I got that number exactly.
Or they're just, trying to get away for a 24-hour period to go be with friends.
But changes are coming.
Top story, the push for answers and accountability from an agency.
Following the murders of Emily Pike, Soraya Dodd, and Rebecca Baptiste, State Senator Karen Warner organized a closed-door meeting with DCS, police, foster care providers, tribal leaders, and Emily's family to address problems. Arizona's Family Investigates learned when Emily went missing, she wasn't in DCS's system. They didn't even have a photo of her.
Was it surprising for you to hear that communication didn't exist prior to this?
Up until the hearing and really the Emily Pike case, I was not aware of that.
Warner sat down with us to talk about reforms now in the works. Those include creating critical information packets for each child in a group home.
So that law enforcement has a picture, they have an idea of what has happened to that child, any siblings, any parents, so that they have a little more to go on than just looking for a child.
Warner says they'll also work on improving communication between tribes, DCS, and law enforcement.
Do you think there needs to be sort of a...
That is a huge problem, not just for Indigenous children, but a lot of times when I see missing children, they won't have a picture. And I'll think to myself, well, that's because they were in DCS custody. And it really hurts my feelings so bad because my niece, she's 26 now, but when she was little, I'd have so many pictures of her in my phone. And it really hurt my heart that they don't have more photos of these kids. And that's the least they can do is have a picture of the child in a packet.
A change in how police departments handle these cases?
I have not had a law enforcement agency tell me that they don't treat every runaway as an important runaway.
Lujan says he would like to see police put more resources into this.
When youth are located and they're returned into state custody is really talking with them and trying to understand the reasons why they left in the first place.
Emily's family also invested and wants to see change.
We're fighting for her, and we're trying to keep her name alive.
Do you remain hopeful that there'll be an arrest made in Emily's case?
Yes, if you don't have hope, then the frustration, the anger, and everything else builds up.
Now, the Healy County.
Now I'll show you guys the whole interview from her uncle all read here. This was around that same
This is a tough place to come because my brother's baby was dumped here like she was a piece of trash, like she didn't matter. And it hurts that, you know, somebody hated her, disliked her that much to just do what they did to her. And my brother can't be here, so my sisters and I are speaking up on his behalf. We have to tell her story. We have to make sure that her story doesn't die down.
Let's go a little closer. Show me if you could, from what we knew back on February 14th, you had not been here yet, but describe to me what was here at that time from what you know now. Piecing it together as far as where her remains were, what you were hearing at that time.
I really didn't know anything at that time. It was my sisters that got a hold of me and told me about it. And my brother works just on the other side of the reservation, and he kind of told me about this area as well. He's a detective on the other side of the reservation.
You got a phone call? What happened that day?
My sister gave me a couple of calls, gave me updates, let me know what was going on with my niece and everything. And I didn't know what to think. I didn't know how to feel. It was just shock. I was shocked that someone could do that to her.
What was your sister saying? I know it probably happened in little increments, but what were...
I can't imagine, you guys, and I don't want any of us to ever be in their shoes, not even for my worst enemy do I wish for that to happen. But, you know, when my dad passed away in December, I was in shock for a few days because he hadn't been sick or anything. You know, it was a shock to us. But that's the circle of life. You know, your parents are supposed to pass before you. But young people, they're not supposed to pass like that, and especially in this way. So I can remember back to the shock that I felt, and I couldn't even begin to imagine the shock that he felt.
And maybe a blur for you now, but what do you remember her saying that was just...
I remember it clear as day. She was telling me that our niece had been found, and that to check the news, the way she was found, it was hard for her to describe it. And after a while, she gained her composure, and she told me how she was found. And she said she had made other calls to my dad and to other relatives to let them know what had happened to our niece.
This is very sinister. We're just off the road here. The 60s there, and you obviously have to turn in here, and you know, I don't know how long it took them to find her, but to be basically dismembered remains, I know it's hard to hear, but just all the theories that have gone through your mind, thinking what could have happened from point A, Mesa, to here, point B.
It was always troubling to me because the reservation is just down the road. And from going like maybe 80, 90 miles down the road, then making her way about 40 miles from the reservation, if you cut straight that way, maybe less, 10 miles. It was odd to me that she was found close to the reservation. And I tried not to guess, try not to point or lay blame to tribal members, to the locals. I just let the law enforcement do their job and come up with the answers for us. because if you start pointing fingers everywhere, you're gonna go crazy. You're gonna lose your mind. You can see everybody as the potential people that did this to her. So I tried to just keep a clear mind and let the investigators do their job.
Have you lost any hope in the investigation?
There are times we do lose hope, and that's when people like you come through. It reminds us that people are still interested in.
Neat. Did you hear what he just said? He said, Uncle Allred said they do lose hope until people like him come through and remind him that people do care. So I think that me and Nate have been trying to get Miss Besselin on NamUs. I checked again this morning, Nate, and I didn't see her on there. But Nate, Besselin's son Ron, I said that it's important that it would make me feel good that people still remembered my mama and stuff like that. And Uncle Ari just said that does help him, so that's great. Van says, wonder if this person who did this knew their culture and not having all the body would cause more pain to her family or just tribe in general. That crossed my mind. That absolutely crossed my mind when it first happened. And what kind of sick person not only does that in the first place to a child, but then goes those extra steps just to inflict more pain. Absolutely demonic.
Her case still reminds us that there are people that are still interested in her case and helping find her killers. And that's what we need. We need people to understand that her killers haven't been found. They're still out there. They may hurt someone else again. And the only way to make sure our communities are safe is to catch whoever did this. And news people like you, that helps us in putting pressure on law enforcement and the communities to remind them that there's still killers out there.
This is someone who all her life had grown up on tribal land, right?
Around family, yes.
And had behavioral health issues and was going through, her own struggles while living in Mesa. I mean, can you imagine I think it took how long for your side of the family to learn she was even in a group home?
When I say everybody fell there, it includes our side of the family, just everybody, the whole system. And I go back were policies and procedures followed with our tribe off the reservation. Where can we fix things? Because we can't let this happen again, not to anybody.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you were at that joint legislative committee hearing.
Oh, bless him, you guys. I know that I would feel guilty too, but the person responsible, nobody would, and their family did try to help her and get her out of the group home and stuff. And who would have thought that some sick person would do this? Nobody could have imagined this. So I hope that they don't blame themselves too much.
Oversight of DCS, May 14th, you spoke to the chair, to the committee. From what we understand, Emily was in tribal custody and placed in a DCS licensed home. So in no way was she actually in DCS custody. She just happened, it's almost like crossing the threshold or being in the DCS world, but her case wasn't with them. She was still assigned to a tribal caseworker, right?
Yes.
How does that, I don't know if that's normal, and you may have no experience in this, but what did you gather from that meeting and learning about kind of where there is a disconnect?
I think they hit it on the head when they said it's the lack of communication, and that we kind of somewhat work in silos. Our tribe's social services, the states, and that we just needed to find where the issues were and to make sure this don't happen again. And when they passed Emily's law, that's where it hit me. the word missing and runaway. And Globe, I think, had the perfect response when they said, we classify everybody as missing. We don't classify them as runaways. And I think that's the way it should have been written, Emily's Law. That if anyone under 18 goes missing, then instead of saying they ran away, you classify them as missing.
It's under 65 and over 18, or kind of the in-between, right? It's young adults all the way to adults once they go missing.
Yes, guys, Emily's Law was signed May 13th, 2025, and the turquoise alert system began that July. And at first, it was for people over 18, but then they changed it so that it would include any person under 65 years of age. And the first turquoise alert was 723 of 25 for a 6-year-old who was believed to have been taken by her non-custodial mother and spotted at the airport, and she was safely located at a woman's shelter within hours, and law enforcement took the woman into custody. So Emily's Law and the turquoise alert, the very first one was last July, and that little girl was found safely. And I thought that was neat to share with you guys.
People are notified. What is that? You hit it on the head too, missing runaway. Why does that get a negative connotation?
When they say runaway, the response isn't heightened like the way missing is. Missing, they go all out in searching for this individual. If it's runaway, okay, let's do a police report, and maybe we'll go do attempt to locate. But other
maybe
than that,
we'll follow up later.
Yeah, they don't go all out and trying to look for her.
And then you're lost in the system.
Yeah, and that's
because of how you're labeled.
That's, I believe, what happened over there. Is they classify her as a runaway, and instead of doing an all-out missing persons report, they just let it sit on the back burner until she was found here.
I'm sure you have like a large family history, a big family at that. And talking to your family members, did you ever imagine that you'd be standing here talking about this story involving your little niece?
Let alone it being a tribal member, let alone being from a different tribe, but to happen to someone as close as my niece, no, it just something that you think will never happen to anyone from our tribe. So it's crazy, it's mind-blowing, it's hard to wrap my head around it.
Bless his heart. So remember after she was first found deceased that the volunteers were searching for the rest of her remains, and the Gila County Sheriff, he came out there. Well, I did find one update, and it was last June, and it says the Gila County Sheriff's Office sent ABC 15 an update saying search warrants had been served, items sent off for testing, and there was a person of interest who was interviewed. Over the past few weeks, with the assistance of the FBI, there have been search warrants served on a residential structure, a vehicle, and a storage trailer, said Lieutenant James. Items seized from these locations have been sent to the laboratory for analysis to determine if there may be links to Emily Pike's investigation. A person of interest was contacted and interviewed, but nothing that leads us to believe he is our suspect. So that is really the only thing that I have found this whole time. That was the only update from the sheriff's office. So now it comes to the year of her when she first went missing. That was January 27th, and there was a few videos that came out on that day that I wanted to show you guys.
The
The community gathered at the same corner Emily Pike was last seen nearly 1 year ago, Mesa Drive and McKellips Road. At first, there was hope, flyers, long days of searching. But then on Valentine's Day, that hope was replaced with grief when Emily's body was found in Globe.
We want to honor this young girl. It's been almost a year.
Since then, the questions have never stopped, and neither has the pain.
Maybe our prayers will weigh in the heart of somebody who knows something and come forward.
The FBI continues offering a $75,000 reward, signaling just how much investigators are still relying on the public to help move the case forward. Emily Pike was a teenager, a daughter, and a member of the San Carlos Apache tribe. Her death pulled her name into a larger conversation, the crisis of missing and murdered Indigenous women.
People will say, missing and murdered Indigenous persons is a big issue, but when it comes down to it, what are they really doing? Do they mobilize a large amount of people to start searching immediately?
Mike Lancaster spent years working as a detective on several reservations.
100% limited resources, lack of training, lack of resources, lack of funding, a lack of caring, really, to be honest.
Now, he's a private investigator and says time is one of the biggest hurdles.
Information gets lost, evidence can get lost, people's memories change.
Lancaster says the work now is about going back, revisiting tips, re-listening to interviews, and hoping renewed attention brings new information.
The guys that are working this case are going to keep plugging away. Every time they hear something, they're going to go check it out.
Emily's story is not the only one. Earlier this month, 8-year-old Malika Boone disappeared from the Navajo Nation.
Yeah, guys, I shared her flyer last week, and there is I think there's a $25,000 reward in her case too. And I can't find, let me see here. I can't find, yep, up to 25,000. They're keeping a very, very tight lip on her case. 8 years old. Bless her heart. Too many, you guys. Too many.
She was found dead the next day. Another young life lost, and another family left with questions.
They want to be able to find the kids. They want to be able to figure out who's harming these kids, but they're just constrained by personnel budgets.
Advocates say these cases reflect a much broader pattern, one where Indigenous women and children are at higher risk, and justice often comes slowly, if at all. For those who loved Emily and are still searching for answers, they say silence is not an option. Reporting live, Alexis Dominguez for.
I hope that that a lot more will come out today, since today is the 1-year anniversary. And I hope that I've been praying that if anybody knows anything, that they'll have the courage to step forward and call the FBI, and that if the person that did do this, that they unharden their heart and call themselves. But you guys, I want to show you one more last thing. Stolen Spirits Nicole, who made this for us, and well, not just for us, but who makes these great flyers, and it has a great Facebook too, you guys. She does, their group does so much for the missing and murdered Indigenous, and there's her Facebook. But you guys, I wanted to show you one more thing. They went to, let me show you this. I saw this when I was searching Emily's name on Facebook. Let me see here. Stolen Spirits wanted to share this. When we went to Emily Pike's memorial, her family gave us corn seeds to plant in her memory, and we did exactly that. So how nice is that, you guys? They went to her memorial. I guess that's Brady's family. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Well, it turned out great. That's wonderful. I thought that was great, you guys. I wanted to share that with you guys too. So please, happy Valentine's Day, Carl. Thank you. I also wanted to tell you guys about before we go and also you guys on my community tab, I shared her flyers and if you could share those, I would greatly appreciate it and help me pray. Like I said, I've been praying specifically for justice for her, for comfort for her family, and for if anybody knows anything, for them to have the courage to come forward, and for the person that did this, for them to want to unburden their heart and come forward themselves, and for nobody else to get hurt. But before we go, I wanted to show you guys the good story for this week. And it happened in January in Louisville, Kentucky. And that's how you say it, Louisville. I don't care what anybody says, it's Louisville. But a 3-year-old went missing, and Neat shared this story with me. And it says, happy ending thanks to teamwork and a very good dog. On January 7th, 2026, officers from Louisville Metro Police Department's 7th District rushed to help find a missing young child, a moment that weighs heavy on everyone involved. And a lot of times, you guys, we all know that the youngins, if somebody could have abducted them, or they meet foul play, and a lot of times it's water, unfortunately, and things like that. But this one turned out okay, and it turned out great, and we have to celebrate those times. And it says that officers searched on foot with a drone, and the air unit overhead hopes stayed high. Then came an unexpected hero, a neighborhood dog who seemed to know something was wrong and led officers straight to the child. The young boy was found inside a vehicle, scared but unharmed, and was quickly reunited with his family. A moment of pure relief for everyone. Outstanding work by our officers and a 4-legged friend who reminded us that heroes come in all forms. And so I have that video that they shared, and I'll share it with you guys. We can watch it here. Let me come back and get you guys. I'm coming. I'll never let go. Rose, she let go on the Titanic though, didn't she? She sure did.
He had run up, rang the doorbell, and then ran right across the street, but he lives there. Yeah. We received a run on Beat 6 in the 7th Division of a missing 3-year-old.
3?
Anytime you have a kid that young, you're fearful. Put me on it. In that situation, when there's a missing kid under the age of 11, if you're not on a run actively, everyone goes to it. We call the air unit up. They were up quick, and they were over the area, and we're doing a neighborhood canvas on the ground, and it's awesome because they're doing a canvas above us. We are lucky in my division, we have a drone operator on our platoon. So he's over there within 10 minutes, 12 minutes, he gets a drone up. I'm just gonna start walking, he's gotta be close, he can't run that fast. Well, me and another officer, Officer Story, decided, hey, let's get on foot. We're gonna find this kid on foot.
She's got that ring camera. So
Officer Story, who actually rides the beat that it occurred on, he said, hey man, there was a run a couple hours ago of the lady right next door to where the missing was from that called in about a kid. It wasn't the same description, but it was a young kid hit her Ring doorbell camera, ran off. I said, you know what, let's just go back to the Ring camera. So I hit the Ring camera and was able to talk to the lady that called the original run in 2 hours prior, and I got to talk to her through the Ring camera and just kind of get some cues on where this kid might have went. And she immediately said, he's across the street. He's in the house across the street. So it was kind of funny. Originally I go to the front door, so I knock on the door. I hear no movement inside, don't hear TVs, don't see lights, thinking it's probably unoccupied, no one's home. So I go around the corner on the sidewalk, and I notice this house on the corner has a privacy fence, but there's a gap for a driveway. So I kind of looking in the backyard, for obvious things. There was a couple cars back there, just in like a garage, detached garage, with the door open. There's some spots where a kid may be. As I'm walking to the front, the craziest thing happened. There's a dog, starts walking with me. And at first, you don't know about dogs. You don't know where the dog's from, so I'm kind of being a little leery of the dog. He's barking, chirping at me a little bit, and then continues to follow me back to the front porch. I begin to knock on the house again. Let's go find him. Come on, let's go. And then I make a gesture on body cam. It was kind of funny. I guess I'm a dog guy, right? So I'm like, hey, let's go find this kid. And the dog immediately runs off the front porch and is leading me back to the backyard of this house. What? Show me, let's go. And it led me all the way back to the backyard. At that point, I'm thinking, okay, this kid's in this backyard. That's what got me there. I get on the radio, just get more cars there, because like we have officers all over the neighborhood. I noticed the back door was open. And again, where would a 3-year-old kid when it's look, go inside. Me and Officer Story exited the home out the rear door. Dog came to the front porch, and as we're exiting, the dog ran right back to the car. Officer Story followed the dog. I went around to check the garage, the open garage right there. And then the next thing I heard Officer Story yell.
He's right here. I got him.
So we went over, it was in an SUV in the backyard. The kid was in the front passenger seat, terrified.
Hit the button on right there, below it, right there.
The dad mode turns on, and I'm trying to get this kid to hit the unlock button. He hit the door latch, and I just gave him the yank motion. And he yanked, and I pulled that door open quickly, and I don't think I've ever seen it happen in my life. He jumped out of the car, bear hugged my neck, and wouldn't let go.
Good job, buddy. Lassie. Lassie. Nice job. Lassie found it.
If I'd have followed the dog all the way there, the dog went right to where the kid was. The dog went right to the back bumper, just like our dogs do, the police dogs do. It goes to the back bumper and just sat there. And, you know, now that I look back at it, I'm thinking that dog was just sitting there saying, hey, over here, man. Come over here, follow me. Man, that dog was somewhere else, man. I've never seen a dog before. I've not seen it since in the neighborhood. I patrolled the neighborhood for 2 years. And I don't know where the dog came from. But it was a blessing from God that day.
Absolutely a blessing from God. I saw another video and somebody said that was Louisville's Lassie. And it was, wasn't it? Oh, bless him. What a good boy. Thank you, Coffee. Thank you so much. Vanessa dropped her link and Trista's link to you guys. Please subscribe to them. Van is, she posts the most wonderful pictures, and Trista posts a devotional every day, so on her community tab. So if you subscribe, hopefully it'll show up on your feed too. I want to thank you guys so very much for coming. I appreciate you guys coming every week, but especially today, because I think that I've done the most live streams that I've done for Emily's case ever. And I do have a playlist of her to you guys. I'll add this next. But her case is so close to my heart. And they all have a piece of my heart, you know, but especially her. So it really means a lot that you guys were here today. So if you guys ever know of another case that we can bring awareness to, please feel free to reach out and email me. Or you can leave a comment under this video or anything. And I don't care a bit to do all that I can to use my platform all that I can. Thank you guys so very much. Don't forget to say your prayers and take your vitamins. And it's almost summer, and so we can get our vitamin D that way now. Just a little bit longer, guys. Okay, I love you guys. I'll play us out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
They tell me I'm small, but I've learned small faith moves mountains. This platform might look quiet right now, but purpose doesn't need permission. Sometimes the smallest voices are trusted with the biggest stories. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. crunching numbers, not loud on the screen, but every case I cover got weight in between. Faces on flyers, names people forget. I speak them out loud so they're never silenced. Yet I don't chase clout, I chase truth. Every live stream feels like a prayer in the booth. For the mom still waiting, the dad still searching, for the families hurting while the world keeps turning. They say, what can one voice read do? But I've seen hope rise when a community moves. So I show up steady, even when it's heavy, trusting God with the parts I can't carry. Got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never know what love can do once it's shared. Every time I go live, I ask one thing. Send prayers up higher than algorithms, because awareness is good, but faith goes further, and prayer reaches places we never could. I don't promise answers, I promise care. A space where compassion still lives right here. Victim-focused, truth-driven, heart-led, always standing in the gap on the hardest days. If you're watching this tide, scared or alone, I hope you feel seen through the screen in your home, because God hears whispers, not just the loud, and He's working right now, even in the crowd. So we pray for the missing. Every single time we pray for the answers in God's perfect time. Small seeds planted, faith multiplied. Miracles don't need a spotlight. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. Still believing God's moving, even today. Small but mighty, called by name. And I trust what He's doing even when I can't see the way. Say a prayer for the missing. Say a prayer for their families. And before you go, say your prayers. Take your vitamins. And remember, even something small can do really big things.